Next question is from Ducali84. How do you get yourself back into lifting when depression has taken over?
This is discipline. This is where discipline kicks in. So you're not going to have your best workouts. You're not going to have your kick-ass fun workouts. What you're going to do is you're just going to do it and just go through the motions. And it's way better than not doing it. And I've gone through periods of this where, I went through a really, really tough period years ago in my life, and there was a lot of really challenging things that happened. And my workouts sucked, but I showed up and I literally went through the motions, and it really helped a lot. And, Arthur Brooks is an expert on happiness, and I always turn to him for stuff like this. And he says, when you're feeling really down, oftentimes the things you don't want to do is exactly what you need to do. So like when you're depressed, you want to be alone, you don't want to talk to anyone. He's like, that's when you should probably go
call a friend,
be around people. Or go outside. I really don't want to go outside. Well, he says, just kind of do it, go through the motions. So that's the discipline part. What you don't want to do is allow your feelings necessarily to dictate what you do and what you don't do in terms of taking care of yourself. Because when you feel down, you get this feedback loop where I feel down, I don't want to work out, I don't want to move. Not working out, not moving makes me feel worse, and then you kind of goes down.
And this is especially important to start getting rid of that pressure in terms of like having to be so effective and productive in the gym and crush your workouts. Like I know this is still something that a lot of people struggle with in terms of like, is it even worth my time to go, even if it's like the shortened amount of time, or I just don't feel like I have that kind of energy to really get after it. Well, just moving and in general, but also like just going through those exercises at maybe a lower weight will help to start at least stimulating that and pull that momentum back up so you can build upon that again.
So I like what you said, and not necessarily that I disagree with Sal, but I think one of the things, and I've been through this before, that used to hang me up, and I think people have this idea that, you just got to discipline yourself and you just have to get through it, and that's the best thing for you. But that seems like such an overwhelming task when you're in that space. When you're depressed, when you don't want to move, when you don't want to do anything, an hour workout sometimes sounds really hard. So the strategy that I have for myself employed is, okay, I'm not going to say that I have to do this hour workout and follow all of my MAPS anabolic routine. I'm just going to go there. And maybe what I'll do is I'll set the bar really low. I'm just going to do a set of squats. One set of, and what you'll find out is if you set that bar really low, and that's not a waste of your time. That's better than what you were potentially going to do, which is going to sit on the couch and feel sorry for yourself. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to get up, I'm going to go over there, and I'm just going to do one set. Anybody could do one set of something, right? So I'm going to give myself this really big, and what ends up happening is I could do another one.
Well, I'm still here.
Yeah, I'm here already. The weight, it's other. I could do one more.
But it's a win even if you just did one.
Well, you're right. And that's why, and you're going to be okay with that. We look at it as like it has to be this kind of all or nothing thing where it's like, either I'm sitting on the couch doing nothing, or it's like, I got to really push myself and get in the gym. It's like, no, you don't. Go in there and just go do one set and give yourself that freedom to potentially just go do one set and say, you know what, I'm just not feeling today.
That's exactly what I did. Yep. To get more specific, and I had somebody tell me this once for writing content, because I remember if I'm really in the mood, I can write so much content. If I'm not in the mood, it's really challenging. And I told a friend of mine they were a writer, and they said, well, here's what you do. Every day, if you have a big project, every day schedule whatever it is, 30 minutes or an hour, and the only thing you do is you sit in front of your computer and do nothing else. If you write, you write. If you don't, you don't. But you got that hour to sit there. Yeah. And I did that, and it was so effective. Now, there was some times where I just sat there, and that was the deal I made with myself. Well, I'm just going to sit here and not do anything else.
Sometimes you just stare at the screen.
Right. But usually I would write at least a sentence or a paragraph. So that's exactly what I do with my workouts. Is I showed up, and I'll give you some examples of what my workouts look like. This was a really hard time. I had somebody really close to me that was slowly dying, and I was going through divorce. This was all within the course of like a 2 or 3 year period. I showed up to my gym, and I said, okay, I don't remember what the time was, but it's like from 12 to 1 is my workout time. And I'd sit down and I'd sit on the bench and I'd look at the clock, and sometimes I'd go do a set of squats. Other times I would just stretch. Sometimes I'd do 3 or 4 exercises, but I would do something, and I was there and I showed up, and it kept me afloat. It really did keep. That's what I mean by go through the motions. It's like that's the discipline part, is you show up and you say, okay, I'm going to try and do something, even if it's the smallest thing, But one thing you have to understand is it's not going to be your PR kick ass. If that's your mindset and you think, well, these are what my workouts have to look like, then you're going to be disappointed. You're not going to want to do anything.